Well, as per usual, that was a very stressful ending to a game. And breathe, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. A huge win for Chelsea. Chelsea 2, 1 Newcastle United visiting Stamford Bridge. Chelsea yet to have a clean sheet at home in the Premier League this season. I said, guys, this was going to be a really tough game. In the preview, I said my head said 1-1, but my heart said 2-1, and we went with a 2-1 prediction. We got the 2-1 scoreline. There's so much to talk about. REECE James playing the 90 minutes for the first time, and like the stat is ridiculous. It's like a year or 2 years or something ridiculous. Playing at left back, moving over to right back. Cole Palmer just not only doing world-class playmaking passes and scoring, but making 6 interceptions. Superb. It's good. It's great. If Arsenal lose to Liverpool, we go above them in the Premier League, and it's just a lovely time. If you're feeling good, let me know. Drop a like on the video. To all of you who like the win, you are welcome to subscribe, and should you choose to do so, you should hit the bell. All right, mates, let's get into it then. So we're playing Newcastle United at Stamford Bridge. They were in trouble. They've not been in great form, but they've got a great team. Gordon wasn't past fit. We'll have a look at the lineups in just a second. I'll present the SofaScore stuff to you in just a sec. But yeah, bro, like this game represented an opportunity for Newcastle United to get out of their slump against the Chelsea side, who aren't amazing at home, and we haven't been for like a long time, actually. We haven't really been good at home. I don't know what it is. It's the pressure or whatever. Palmer's always good at Stamford Bridge, but not necessarily Chelsea. So it was a good opportunity for Eddie Howe's side to come and like show what they're about against a defense that's not great, and a developing and maturing Chelsea side that don't control for 90 minutes and can't see out games, and we saw that here today. Let's have a look then. SofaScore attacking momentum, pretty even actually, and as you can see, the whole portion of the second half was largely all Newcastle. They came to play at the end. We started very, very strong, and we sort of let them into it a little bit. But they've got a great team, man. And of course, just around about here, we had a penalty that was cancelled by VAR. We'll talk about Simon Hooper, the referee, maybe slightly in just a moment. As you can see, here's the lineups. Very, very strong players, man. Look, two Chelsea fullbacks, and Tino Livramento and Lewis Hall. Dan Burn, Shaw in front of Pope. And then, of course, that midfield of Tonali, Guimaraes, and Joel Linton is strong. That front three, maybe not Miguel Amaron, but that front three is strong. So Chelsea played like this. Sanchez in goal. We'll talk about him, don't worry. We're continuing with the Levi Colwill and Wesley Fofana cultivation project. REECE James, Captain REECE James, shocking people and starting at left back over a fit Marc Cucurella, over a available Renato Vega, which means Malo Gusto played as right back. Now, actually, the way it started, REECE James, of course, he moved over to right back, so his heat map might be a bit misleading. But as you can see there, he was playing a little bit more conventional left back, and Malo Gusto was he's taking up a lot of the inside positions here, like he did against Liverpool at Anfield, taking up really intelligent positions where the opposition don't know what to do with them. And it's worth mentioning, I want to quickly speak about Gusto while I think about it here. In fact, I talk about it on my Instagram. I always do stories throughout the games that I watch, and sometimes live at halftime. So do follow on Instagram, Football Yannick, and incidentally, Football Yannick is my second YouTube channel as well. Do consider subscribing to that. Gusto, he's not scored for Chelsea yet. And when he gets that goal, I think he's going to not score a bunch of goals, but because he snatches at so many chances. And obviously he's a good technical baller. He can cross really accurately. He can, pass accurately. This guy can probably score a goal. It reminds me of when Kovacic didn't score for ages and then did. Because he takes up so many great positions in this Enzo Maresca Chelsea side, with he sort of comes on the inside, and he's really hard for the opposition to pick up. They don't know what to do with him tactically. So because he does that, if he can get that goal for Chelsea and just calm the F down in front of goal, then we'll be in business, I think, with a goal threat from Malo. Let's have a look here then. All right, so that was the back four. And this, I'll tell you what, we're going to talk about this double pivot with Romeo Lavia, Moises Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez is in trouble. He is. Lavia is an absolute sensational baller, and he'd be the talking point of the midfield if Caicedo wasn't so friggin' good. Interesting. We saw Noni Madueke start, and we saw Pedro Neto start. Look how many cards we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of Christopher Nkunku off the bench. We need to stop this. We're breaking records here. We were 30, the top of the league for yellow cards before this game, and now we've got another 5 in a game. Ridiculous. Yeah, so Pedro Neto, I think he had a really good battle up against Tino Livramento, of course, ex-Chelsea, because he's really fast. Jadon Sancho, of course, isn't a fast player, so Pedro Neto was deployed there and played really well, and he's so good because we can rely on him on both wings to such a high level. What a signing he is. He really is excellent. Cole Palmer and Nico Jackson starting sort of together up top. Of course, they combine really well. Statistics, important. Let's just do it half by half, shall we? So in the first half, they actually had a bigger XG than us with 1.43, and we had 0.97 big chance each. Pretty even, actually. We had a bunch more corners, a few more passes, but pretty even. And in the second half, we were better with 0.71 expected goals to the 0.1, but they did create 2 big chances, and I think pretty much all of them, we've got REECE James to thank. He's making goal line clearance. He made like 2 goal line, or 1 amazing headed goal line clearance, another like block. At the end, he did a Superman goal line clearance towards his own goal. I mean, I didn't forget, but people may have forgotten how good REECE James is as a footballer. I kept saying he is maybe, bar Cole Palmer, our best footballer, like a contributor, like what he can do in a game and affect a game. He's that good, guys. It's chicken oriental, mate. Do you know what I mean? Look at our only injury, Amari Kellyman. Remember that guy? Apparently he plays for Chelsea. So here we go. We had a really early goal in the 6th minute, cancelled out, and it was done by a gnat's hair. It looked like the same amount that the offside analysis of the Isak goal, but for some reason ours was ruled out and there stood. Anyway, Fofana gets booked. He also looks have an injury worry for him really early doors. But we see the goal. Palmer setting up Nico Jackson in the first half, in the 18th minute. Really good break. I mean, oh no, sorry, not Palmer. Pedro Neto. I just saw a P. In fact, it's the Palmer pass, isn't it? It's that Hollywood absolute block. But mate, he's in his defensive third. I'm sure you guys have seen it, this pass. He's literally like at the end of the Chelsea defensive third. He plays this beautiful pass. He scores, he assists, he plays dead balls like corners and scores free kicks. He makes interceptions and he does deep lying playmaking passes like that. Where did we get this friggin' kid from, bro? Beautiful long pass. Pedro Neto, remember, on the left-hand side, not his native right, running in behind because he's incredibly fast. So, again, Sancho would struggle with Livramento a little bit. Runs in and plays a ball across, finished off first time by Nico Jackson, who scores again. Superb. But, of course, they have a equaliser in the end of the first, in 32nd minute, not the end. And yeah, it is Isak. It's a cutback, and Isak sort of runs into the sort of taps it in. It's frustrating because the goal came from an overload on the left-hand side from probably where Malo Gusto had been inverting. So it's kind of like, I'd say, rare instance of the vulnerability of this system. I don't think Chelsea's problems defensively are necessarily Enzo Maresca's system. I think it's just we're a bunch of kids and we're learning ourselves. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to take a while. But that was an instance where you think, there's an overload on the left-hand side there. There's no a right back that's inverting a lot. There was space to be... I mean, it could be addressed. It was very frustrating because of the VAR review. It looks like it was miles offside. And then there was another angle. Didn't look miles anymore, but it still looked offside. To the same amount Cole Palmer's was. I'm not doing a conspiracy here. I'm just saying, and I'll probably say it now. Maresca got booked for being really, really annoyed with the ref. The Stamford Bridge faithful Chelsea fans, the people at the bridge, they were really angry with the keeper, no, the keeper, probably the keeper as well. We'll get to him. Don't worry, with the referee. And to be honest, like a bunch of the. He got some stuff wrong, but I don't think it was a really bad performance from him. I'm not saying he's a good ref at all. The penalty that got cancelled by Nkunku, I don't think it was a penalty. Looking at it, I would have loved for it to be given, obviously, because it would have been Cole Palmer that took it again. But I don't think it was a penalty. And then he did sort of foul another player. There was moments, and to be honest, actually, the ref did us a big favour because Colwill fouled. And I can't remember which player it was it Guimaraes outside or Joe Wellington, I forget which one, out running into the box where they thought it might be a penalty, but it was just outside. It was a blatant foul just outside the box that would have represented an amazing opportunity, to the point where Levi Colwill even said, I fouled him outside the box, like to the ref. And it was right in front of the ref, but the ref didn't give it. It was like a blatant foul, and of course, if it was a little bit forward, it would have been a penalty, and then VAR could have got involved. So he did us a favour there as well, the ref. I don't think it was like this big narrative of the ref screwing Chelsea. We won anyway, do you know what I mean? All right, so the second half, Cole Palmer scores a great goal. Assist, was it Pedro Neto? Who was the assist? Oh, Romeo Lavia. Oh, that boy, Romeo Lavia. What a performance from him. He got booked for an argument. Tonali got booked. Madueke gave a foul off the ball that could have been it was a chance for a direct free kick goal. Thank God we didn't concede. And then we see Mudryk come on from Madueke, which of course moves Neto over to his native right wing. Free changes from both sides. We see Enzo Fernandez come on for Lavia, who's got a card and played very well. Cucurella come on for Gusto, which sees REECE James move over to the right-hand side. So we've got players in Pedro Neto and REECE James, and kind of Gusto as well, that can literally play on opposite flanks and move around, which is a great asset to have. We also see Jackson come off in the 78th minute for Nkunku. He looked pretty bummed out, Jackson. I don't know why. He got his goal. But you want to see him frustrated. We get loads more cards, and Nkunku, Pedro Neto, Sanchez all get booked. And of course, there's the penalty from Nkunku. He thinks he wins it, but yeah, it's not for me. His momentum's taking him. He turns, there's a hand gently on his shoulder, and he sort of tries to buy it. Fair enough, gamesmanship and all that. But it weren't a pen for me. All right, let's talk about player performances then, shall we? I'm not going to necessarily show you the stats here on the screen. I'm just going to talk to you this time because that's what I feel like. I might just quickly look at Pedro Neto because he's been player of the match on SofaScore. Pedro Neto, 93%. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is why Pedro Neto was player of the match on SofaScore, right? Okay. Expected goal 0.2, expected assist 0.42. He got an assist. 93% passing accuracy, very good for a dribbling winger. 3 key passes, elite. If you're a winger, you want to try and get 1 in, or a playmaker. 2 is good. 3 is excellent. 50% of his crosses and long balls is fine, I guess. Created a big chance. Shot on target, shot blocked for a wing is very, very good. 75% of his dribbles completed. Didn't win many ground duels, but he's a winger. Aerial duels, he's short. And he only lost possession 9 times. Now, I say if you're in the front 3, you can get over double digits. To get under is very good. Made a couple of interceptions as well. Just quickly on Cole Palmer. Let's see, interceptions as well. 4 long balls accurate. 2 key passes from Palmer's good. He, of course, got a goal and a pre-assist that was excellent. Won 4 ground duels, not too bad. Possession loss 16. That kind of happens. It says 6 blocks on the Sky Sports. Anyway. Let's talk about general players. Look, Palmer good, Neto good, Jackson good, Madueke, fine, whatever. Mudryk came on, just didn't really do anything. I'd say the same with Fernandez. He was there. And to be honest, those triple changes, or everyone but Nkunku, because Nkunku kind of did make a difference. There was a moment where he was in the box where he took it on his wrong foot and he probably should have played back in Palmer, or was it Neto who was up there with him? He didn't do that. It was poor decision making, but he was amongst it, Christopher Nkunku, towards the end, made an effect. The rest of the subs, Cucurella, Fernandez and Mudryk, meh. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't really see much difference from those guys. They didn't get a chance. So let's just talk about the good. Pedro's very good. Like I said, all attackers are pretty good. REECE James, amazing. The fact how he was that was a captain's performance from REECE James. Okay, I talk about how when I hear him speak, assert himself, he's passive, he seems a bit shy, doesn't seem very captainy. That's what, the manager's seeing him. And he can captain Chelsea because he does that on the pitch. Got, you know, goal line clearances, blocks, diving headers over, you know, over the byline. Do you know what I mean? So superb. Gusto was good, but REECE James was just better. Moises Caicedo, amazing. Moises Caicedo, amazing. I'm going to just quickly look myself at these numbers. His heat map is everywhere. 94% passing for someone that was everywhere. 75% of his long balls completed. Most of his ground duels won. All of his aerial duels won. Only lost possession 6 times, which isn't too bad. He made 7 interceptions and 4 tackles and the clearance. Just amazing player. And the fact how he can play forward really well. He looks like the Premier League record transfer fee player that he is. Romeo Lavia, again, I'd be worried if I was Enzo Fernandez because they have a partnership and Lavia looks like an all-rounder, mate. He obviously got an assist here, superb, but he looks like he can do... I was worried that he'd be a little bit more of the kind of CDM defensive player that just wants to dribble and progress, but he made so many like good interceptions in terms of like where he sticks his feet in. He had 2 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 clearances, 75% of his ground duels. Only lost possession twice, Romeo Lavia. Very, very strong. So we need to talk about the centre backs and the goalkeeper. First of all, centre backs. They need to mature. They're not quite the Gabriel and Saliba yet, are they? They need to mature. Levi Colwell's passing stats this season holistically have been insane. Very, very good. Of course, he's playing with REECE James to his left, a little bit different. You know, Lavia in front of him. There's been changes, you know. I do love Fofana. You guys know me as a profile. I think he's a bit rash sometimes, but they both got the exact same rating here on SofaScore, despite Fofana being booked and Colwell not. So maybe Fofana statistically was a bit better. But they're both, I'm very pleased with like putting the farm on these lads because I feel like the ceiling is very, very high for their development. But yes, you can tell they're good, but I would say they're not quite, you know, consistent Chelsea level, but they're very, very young and they've only just started playing together this season, so I've still got high hopes. Goalkeeper then, yeah? Ugh. Rob Sanchez. You got to have high hopes for Rob Sanchez. God, that song's annoying. Because I've just possibly done with this geezer, man. 50% accurate passes. I know it's a goalkeeper, but still... long balls. He attempted 25 long balls, right? So, you know, we want to play out the back of the goalkeeper, possession, whatever. That's short passes, right? Fine. But he played long so many times. 25 times. Now, look, let's be fair. When you play long, it's harder to complete an accurate pass because a lot of their players, they've obviously got their back to the ball coming down. And a lot of Chelsea players... so their front to the ball, and Chelsea players got their back to the ball. There's like, yeah, it's hard. You know, you got to try and win second balls. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if a really good goal, I'm gonna pull this out of the air, right? I don't know for sure, but maybe a really good goalkeeper like an Edison or you know stuff like that. Good ball playing goalkeepers. Maybe they have like a 65%, 70% success rate of long balls or whatever. I don't know. Probably relatively strong, but not immaculate because it's hard. Rob Sanchez He tried 25 long balls in this game. 25. It's fine to resort to it every now and again, like maybe 1 out of 3. 25! And he completed 6. 25 completed 6. You do the percentage. How many 6 is going to 25? 1, 2, 5. Maybe just over 20% success. Absolutely disgraceful. Look, I think it was a bad game that we won. Whatever. He's going to be trusted. But I feel like... I don't want to say he's on fraud watch. But he's on fraud watch. Yeah. He is the weak link. I'm sorry. He's 25, 26. How old is he? He's not a child. I don't know about Jorgensen, but Sanchez is my weak link. I'm open to him becoming better and saving us and being excellent. But at the moment, don't see it. Guys, massively buzzed over this win. Hopefully Arsenal lose. And then we'll be in really good shape for top 4. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for liking and subscribing. And I do hope to see you back here soon. Peace.